At last, PDP reinstate Anyang as it says, aftermath of Kanduje's exit. Again, North Central demands APC chairmanship amid tension. Again, North Central demands APC chairmanship seat amid tension, with a rider as Al-Makura gets endorsement. Reps move to address directors' compulsory retirement age falsification. That's on Al Jazeera Nigeria today. Do we have more papers? I don't think so. I think we're done with all our papers this morning. So there you have it. The front pages of our newspaper this morning. Make sure if you're interested in any of the stories that you see me read today, that you heard me read, you can grab a copy of any of the dailies, or you can actually go online and get to read some of these papers this morning. So we're expecting that our guests have arrived this morning, and yes, we're done with our front pages, we're done with our weather. We'll take our usual break to, bring in our guests. And again, don't forget that you get to call in the mix of our discussion so your voice can be heard. Remember, the press was created for you. We'll take that break, and when we return, more on the show. Stay with us. Yes, welcome back once again. Nice to know that you were there. And I'm happy to let you know I have one of my guests in the studio. You know the way it is. You weather when it rains in Abuja, it pours right here on the press because my guests will be nowhere to be found. I'm happy I have one out of the two, but we're still expecting the other guest. I do want to believe that it has to do with the weather this morning. All right, we're about to go straight on now to our discuss for the morning, and today we're taking a look at the state of the nation. We have some issues that we've taken as our focus. Education is one of them. Insecurity in the land is one of them. And of course, food sufficiency or lack of it is one of them. And the forefront, what we want to discuss is Tinubu's St. Lucia's trip. Now, that particular trip is still gathering dust amongst Nigerians as they ask questions, hoping to get answers. And on the show this morning, we're taking a look at that trip. We want to find out the economic benefit of that trip to the nation. St. Lucia is a Caribbean island nation or country that most Nigerians never heard of until that sudden announcement of the trip. According to report, that particular nation is even smaller than Alimosho local government area in Lagos, and the population is not even up to that of Makurdi. Besides the question surrounding that trip is the attention given to timing. Nigerians have said that, you know, the president missed the timing amidst insecurity in the land following the over 200 lives that was lost at Yawata in Benue State. So we want to take a look at that. This morning on the papers, if you followed before the break, 24 billion naira earmarked for CCTV cameras, and of course 30 billion for gunboats, and the figures just go on and on. It is halfway into 2025, and we want to take stock. We want to discuss Nigeria, and our guest is here, and you are there. Please call in when the phone lines are opened and let your voice be heard. So, to help discuss this morning, let me do the honors by introducing my guest in the studio. He's Engineer Toba Owojaiye. He is a seasoned political affairs analyst, career coach, and business development consultant with over 2 decades of proven experience. I want to appreciate you so much for being on the press this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
You've become a friend to the house.
Yes,
we appreciate our friends. This platform was created to bring Nigerians who would come bear their minds on affairs of the nation, and sometimes they become friends, and we appreciate them for always having the time to answer when we call.
Thank you very much.
So the issues we want to take a look at, we're halfway into the year 2025, and this morning being the 1st of July, we want to take a look at the state of the nation. And of course, we want to start with the St. Lucia trip visit by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Like I said in my intro, a lot of Nigerians have never heard of that Caribbean island nation, and they only got to learn about St. Lucia when the President traveled. And the question asked is, what are the economic benefits of that trip? Some have argued that the president should have sent someone. If that trip would have been honored, someone else should have gone to represent the president, even though he said the visit was came on the invite of the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And again, the security situation in the country, they've said the timing wasn't good at all. So a lot has been said about that visit that happened last week. It has continued to be a topic of discussion, and that is why we're taking a look at it this morning. So I would want your take from the top, the St. Lucia visit. Okay. How do you see that?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's very strategic of the president. First of all, we have a deep thinking president. So he must have his reasons. The last president who visited St. Lucia was Nelson Mandela in 1998. The country gained its independence in 1979. So they're a young country. The only president who have visited them was Mandela in 1998, and now Tinubu has visited the country again. It's basically, it's 99% an African country. They're all blacks, but because of the coastal nature of the country, they are fair-skinned but black people. So it's an island of music, it's an island of fun, it's an island of Bahamas, Dominican. It's around that area. So people go there for rest, people go there for entertainment. Most of our big artists are loved there. Our movies are watched there. Rema has been there. Burna Boy has been there. It's a Nigeria outside Nigeria. Our movies are best watched around that axis. So they identify with our roots, and for me, it's not a bad thing for them to. And they also gave him the highest honor in their country.
Okay.
So I think they are honoring us. They are honoring their roots. They don't have some of the things we have. They don't have as much fintech. They don't have as much banks. They have 2 airports, only one international airport and one other airport. They don't have like what you have here. You have Money Point, you have Kuda, you have, they don't have any of that. Any of that. So there are a lot of things that they can gain from us. There are a lot of things we can gain from them. They are also the headquarters of 15 islands within that axis. So if Nigeria builds a good international relationship with them, and maybe it becomes visa-free or visa-friendly, Japan will triple for Nigerians. And it's head to 15 other islands, which has its own small businesses. Nigerians, in my opinion, are the sharpest business people in the world. So the president going to open doors of more business and more opportunities for Nigeria is wonderful, in my opinion. I don't see, because I know him as a person who is strategic.
Okay.
Tinubu can't just stand up to go to the smallest place for no benefits. So I know that there are things that are going to roll in from there. Nations are protecting water borders. You see, China, Taiwan, because who owns the land around the area owns the waters. So, and these days they are finding minerals in the waters. They are finding many things. So he's seen something that maybe is 8 years ahead down the line, and he's someone who has good foresight. So it may not make sense to everybody now, but I can assure you, President Tinubu has seen something that Nigeria can gain from there. He went with a few bankers, he went with a few businessmen, and it was all good. That's my opinion.
Now, Toba, I'm glad that the analysis is actually coming from you. You did say some few keywords that I am holding on to.
Okay.
The fact that St. Lucia does not have much compared to what Nigeria has.
Yes.
Is a small island.
Very small. 200,000 people, less than 200,000 people.
Yes, like I said in my analysis, smaller than Alimosho local government in Lagos.
Yes.
The population is even less than Makurdi, as it were. And you rightly told us that they don't even have much. The only thing you pointed out is the groove part of it.
Yes.
Rema has been there. The fun part, the tourism part, because of the waters.
The guys are beautiful, the ladies are beautiful.
Now, the question Nigerians are asking, because I am trying to do the math, 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4. Why, at this time, if the nation doesn't have much to offer Nigeria, then why would the president of Nigeria go there? What is the economic benefit? That is what we're trying to find out. What would be the economic benefit of St. Lucia to Nigeria at a time like this?
That's exactly what I just said. We have something to offer them.
What are we gaining from St. Lucia?
That's what I'm saying. They are closer to the West. They are closer in land mass and in geographical position to America, to other European countries. It's closer from here, from their own place to those places. So they're basically black Americans by skin tone, by where they're coming from. So for Nigerians who are doing business, it's a good opportunity to go and do business.
So that is why it's
for people
it's
who
a window
want,
of opportunity for businesses.
For business.
That the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria took out time from his busy schedule with everything happening in the nation to visit
There
St.
is
Lucia.
no time in which nothing will be happening in the nation.
All right.
There's no time.
It's interesting. We're having interesting discourse here. We've just been told that our other guest is here. And of course, on the show, we always want a plethora of information and ideas, and we mix that all together. And so we're going to have that opportunity this morning as we take a break to bring in our next guest. We'll be right back.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at Kaftan Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At Kaftan TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment. It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Take a look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
Yes, and nice to know that you're still there as we continue on our discussion this morning. And yes, my second guest finally made it. He is also a friend to the house. ABDULAZEEZ Idris is a social affairs analyst, the convener, Abuja Traders and Entrepreneurs Roundtable. Politics and economics is also part of his interest. Thank you so much for making the show this morning, Abdul.
Good morning, and thank you.
Yes, before you came in, myself and Toba were actually talking about one of our main focus of this course this morning, and that is the trip to St. Lucia by President Tinubu, and we're trying to take a look at the economic value of that trip to Nigeria at this time. A lot of Nigerians have actually said that the timing of that visit was totally off based on everything that is going on in the nation, especially insecurity. So Toba has said, is giving 100% to that visit. I don't know if you agree with him as we take a look at that particular incident.
Yeah, I think I might follow him too, Mr. Toby, because we are talking about a trip that might have some economic impacts in Nigeria. The trip importance or advantages to the country might not be seen today, but it can come in the future.
Okay.
There are so many bilateral relations that can happen between the two countries that can help Nigeria's economy, even the security itself. It's possible as a small country, you might find out they might have experts and they might have technical advices that they can give Nigeria in terms of the security that we're talking. People that are saying it's not timing or because of insecurity, president cannot travel, cannot do that, that means no work will be done. Insecurity, he has inherited insecurity. It doesn't start in Tinubu's time. This is, we are talking about 15 to or somewhere around that time when this insecurity started, maybe 15 years or so. So definitely when there is a work, when there's issues and problems, it's not only one person that can solve that problem. It's something that we have to join hands together. The presidency itself, the government, the security agencies, we have to come together. By the time we come together with the community, that was when we can be able to solve insecurity in Nigeria. But leaving everything on the table of president, saying insecurity, it cannot solve the insecurity problem. The economic importance of being at that St. Lucia, it could come in so many ways. As I said, it's a small country, really.
Yes, it is.
But at least there are some certain things that maybe those countries have, which we don't have. There could be some, as I said, technical advices in terms of infrastructure, in terms of, if you can remember, last year, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu visited China. And when he went to China, when he see the infrastructures in China, he promised that when he comes to Nigeria, he's going to replicate those type of infrastructures.
So far, have we, in your opinion, have we seen a replicate or anything close to what he saw in China? Bear in mind that the president is not a baby when it comes to matters of governance. Nigerians are the most traveled people in the world, if you ask me. If you go to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, just to kill boredom, if you see the influx and outflux of people there, Nigerians actually travel. There's no one in governance who hasn't traveled outside the shores of Nigeria, but the question is, do they replicate what they see in those nations?
Yeah.
Do we have an inkling? Do we have any sight of what they see outside the shores of Nigeria replicated, same when they have the opportunity to do so?
Yeah, definitely. You see, you have to put things in plan. When you see something, somebody did something, you want to innovate, you want to copy, for example, from him. He has to give you the technical background. Then you now come and do your feasibility studies and now look at how can you implement it. Implementation and execution is not something that you can do, you can start today. We're talking about infrastructure. For example, if you look at most of the front page of the Nigerian news of these days, The Nation, Vanguard, and so on, you see that Minister of FCT, Barrister Inyesomuke, is commissioning some projects, roads and others. One of the infrastructure that I really give kudos to him is that bus terminal in Kubo and the one he built in Mabushi. These are the kind of infrastructures that even the president himself saw similar to that in China. Really, if you go to and see, you know, yes, it is worth it. We need something like that. You know, people might be saying, oh no, there is hunger on the land, there is this school, primary school, insecurity and so on. That thing will not stop work, will not stop will not allow all the sides to collapse. Insecurity has collapsed, let me put it in that way, for example. Then we cannot allow education to collapse, we cannot allow infrastructure to collapse, we cannot allow other social amenities to collapse. So definitely every minister, every government functionary agencies and whatever has to do their work. You understand? That's how it works.
Okay. So let me go back to Toba. Well, I have two guests who agree that that visit was what's the whole travel was what's the time was what's the Esther code. But again, Nigerians say, you know what, the president shouldn't have gone. He should have sent someone. Going by the size of that nation, going by the population, and the established fact that a lot of Nigerians feel probably that nation has nothing to actually offer. The question is, what did Nigeria go to sell to the nation? Again, should the president have gone for that visit and not send an aide to go do that?
Yeah, like I'm glad he has said what I said and more. Okay, the president is being offered the highest honor in that country. How would I be offering you the highest honor in my country and you send an aide? I don't. Sometimes I really don't understand.
Right. I'm coming. Within Nigeria, we have pressing invites.
I am coming. See, he has said exactly what I wanted you. What I said. A country cannot invite you to give you its highest honor, and you send an aide.
Okay.
It's just a diplomatic blunder. You can't even do that.
That's correct.
First of all, I also mentioned that the only president that has been to that country in 1998 is Nelson Mandela. Is Tinubu bigger than Nelson Mandela? No. Have you noticed that only 2 presidents in the world have been there? It's an African country that is outside Africa.
Okay.
So we have to show them solidarity. They don't even have good internet. They are behind us on many areas. They don't have functional banks like us. But in positioning, they are strategic. They are the leaders of all the 15 island countries.
Okay.
So having a strong tie with them opens, and maybe easy visa in that place, opens doors for Nigerians, nurses, doctors, academicians, investors, one of the countries has the biggest oil person as a Nigerian. There are many places. Nigerians are wonderful people. Nigerians are entrepreneurs. The president goes and opens door. We had a problem in Dubai. We were banned from there. Our president went there once, twice, and after that, the issue was resolved. We had problem in London. We had to get a Nigerian to give us one airport in Gatwick to land. Now we have another strip in Heathrow, which is the biggest place. So all of these things need to be worked on. All of these things need to be adjusted. All of these things need to be made to work. I love what he said. We cannot shut down the country in a bid to do something else. We cannot completely send the country down the drain that we are waiting because of insecurity and this and that. We have to do other things. We have to make sure other things are taking place. The country can't, I love what you have said. The country cannot shut down because we have insecurity.
Because we have insecurity. All right, there's a point I want us to put the phone lines on now on the screen, so our viewers can call in and be part of the conversation. Let the phone lines, the calls begin to come in now, so you can call in and be part of the discussion. Our focus this morning is Tinubu's St. Lucia's visit. We're going to take a look at insecurity in the land. We're going to take a look at the challenges of education, or challenges in the educational sector in Nigeria. We're going to take a look at that. And of course, food sufficiency in the nation. We're going to take a look at that. So I think let us move on now, because part of the worry, part of the dust that has refused to settle is the fact that Nigerians are actually saying that, you know what, that visit was ill-timed because of the insecurity in the land. And one of the most pressing one that happened just before he traveled, though he visited Benue, was the Yelwata massacre. And again, insecurity has become like a part of us. You rightly said, Idris has said that insecurity has broken down completely. I don't know if you agree with that. If you think there's a present administration has done enough in terms of fighting insecurity in the land, if you believe that there are areas that hasn't been touched, that needs to be touched, you have an idea on how to ensure that we stop hearing all these terrible stories all over in terms of insecurity in the land, I would appreciate at this moment that you add your say.
Okay, so what I would say about Nigeria, and this is me being honest as a Nigerian, our issue is our regional and religious distrust. That's all. There's nothing else.
Regional and
religious distrust between us. My best friend is a Muslim. He's from Kano. But it took me a while to sleep in his house. But after spending 2 weeks sleeping in his house, I was eating out. After a while, I started eating in the house. After a while, they allowed me enter their mother's room. His mother was injured. After a while, I took his mother to the hospital, and this is trust built. Nigeria has different people with different religion, and then political parties have not helped, and those who want to get into power too have not helped, because they have to look for one. It's like you say a fine girl from head to toe, but you say one leg bend. Hello, you're looking at the whole girl. You must find, those who want to come to power have to find the smallest part to draw the attention of the masses to us. We are here because Nigeria did not understand politics and the political swing. In my opinion, Goodluck was not supposed to contest for another second term after he had done 6 years, and Obasanjo had done 8 years. Yar'Adua died after doing just 2 years. So Southern rule had 14 years, Northern rule had two years. Goodluck had agreed to step down, but power is sweet. And then people around you will not allow you rest. People around you will ginger you to contest. And so the whole North was against him, and insecurity came into play. And now the North will not quench that insecurity completely because they're expecting power either in 2027 or 2031. Depends on who you talk with. So that insecurity will not die off immediately until we have that trust. The trust that says that power will go to the North in 2031. No matter how much Tinubu wants it or any other Southerner wants it. Once this trust is established, that when a Northerner comes into power, the North will fairly treat the country. When a Southerner comes into power, the Southerner will fairly treat the country. Once this is established, insecurity will die.
Now, Idris, I feel so uncomfortable most of the time as a journalist, as a Nigerian. First of all, as a Nigerian who comes from Delta State, as a journalist who has to be on set to conduct interviews like this. I've done that for a couple of years. I feel very uncomfortable when this country up to now is divided into three. You talk about the North, you talk about the Northerner, you talk about, because if we decide to talk about the regionality, talk about geopolitical zones, like you rightly said, where do you place the Igbo man in the mix of this? Now, the minority, when you combine the minority together, I think we surpass these three groups that the nation has been divided on a plate and given to as a piece of cake. You talk about, oh, the North must come back, oh, tomorrow is the Yoruba's turn. We are Nigerians. Yeah. So I get so uncomfortable. It's a bitter pill. Look, the pill is just in my cheek. I can't even swallow it. And every time issues like this come up, I just feel that until we address the issue of ethnicity, until we address the issue, politics has divided Nigeria into geopolitical zones, until we address the issue of north, south, east, west, then I think we will never get it as Nigerians. But I'm happy that a Northerner is right here when you make a mention of insecurity being an issue, a political issue, more or less. So Idris, I really want you to take based on what my friend has spoken here. Bear in mind, we have the Igbos who want to come into power, and we all know the politics around that. Peter Obi's story is still one that resonates with everyone. So what is the way forward? Well, the layman on the street has said that unemployment, corruption with judicial system, high influx of arms and drug abuse are some of the issues that they hold responsible for insecurity. But again, you can't talk about insecurity in Nigeria without going the political route. I really want your contribution. Again, I would really appreciate if you can take from what Toba has said.
Yes, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, there's no how you can separate it with both, as in what he said, or the areas he has discussed. For example, regionalism, political differences, religion, and so on and so forth. These are the major things or factors that comprise to bring an insecurity in the country. Before 1999, Nigeria is living peacefully. We don't have any we don't have any religious crisis that has at least
of this magnitude
all over the country. People you can travel from south to west, you can travel from north to the east, no any problem. From after Obasanjo left office, Eradua's time, Jonathan time, down to Tinubu's time, that's the beginning of the insecurity in Nigeria. That's why I said you cannot separate it from politics. Okay. Politicians are very selfish people, which I'm part of them. Yes, they were looking for any avenue on how to divide people so that they can get what they want. If they didn't divide us, they allow us united and they leave us the way we are earlier, we can be able to distinguish who is good among them, who is bad among them. Very true. So we can choose the good one. But when they divide us using religion, using tribal or ethnocentric issues, using religious and whatever. That's how they can be able to manipulate us. So it's an avenue for them. It's a loophole for them. If we keep being divided, we hate ourselves. Northerner hate a southerner, southerner hate an easterner. You understand? Then they can be able to come in between. You can see now the insecurity happening both in the north, south, east, and west. None of their children or families are being killed or attacked. Of course. But it's our families that are attacking each other. We are the ones losing, not them.
Okay. You want to take the call?
Please, Abdul, let's take this call, our first call on the show. Now, good morning. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
My name is Usman Garba-Samtraki, calling you from Yola, Adamawa State.
Okay, Usman, good morning. Go ahead with your opinion.
The issue we are discussing, my take on this is that politicians are the ones that cause all these problems that this country is facing. I remember vividly because I grew up in Plateau State, in a village called Vo. In my class of 30 pupils, only 5 that are Muslims. But we live happily with our fellow Christians. And I want to put it to you that during that time, that is in the 70s, whenever there is a Salah celebration, we celebrate it with our Christian brothers. Likewise, the Christians. If they are celebrating Christmas, we celebrate with them. All of a sudden, as my fellow colleague here is rightly saying, the politicians are the brain of problem of this insecurity. Because, as I'm telling you now, if you go to war, hardly for you to find a single Muslim, except somebody who is working with the Nigerian Veterinary Statistics. And this doesn't augur well for us. All the problem they are seeing really is organized in Plateau State. Is the burden of the real cause of that problem is the politicians, not anybody. They want to divide us, and they have succeeded in dividing us. Now everybody is now looking at his brother based on his color, based on religion, based on his ethnicity, which doesn't go over well for Nigeria. At least I think Nigerians need to raise up and accept the reality.
Thank you so
much.
much. Thank you. I appreciate that call. Please call in and just air your views. This program was created for you to air your views. Today we're taking a look at the nation. There's a lot to talk about. Just call and let us share and listen.
Now, you see, he emphasized also, he also elaborated on a bit of what I have said. You see, the religions we have in Nigeria were mainly Islam and Christianity. And if you go deep into these religions, both of them preaches peace, love, and peaceful coexistence between the either tribal or whatever, or color or race. There is no difference. We are all human beings. But as I said earlier, that the politicians, they were looking for a way how to maneuver and find their way to go and get what they wanted. As I'm speaking to you today, they were in House of Assembly, either in state or in the federal here in Abuja. They are sharing billions of naira today. Well, our brothers and sisters in the village who are killing themselves are languishing in poverty. You understand? So when they push you into poverty, now there's something you keep hating yourself. For no reason, a traveler will travel from south to the north, he will be killed. A traveler will travel from the north to Benue or to Plateau, he will be killed. We are no longer safe because of just the selfish interest of these people.
Now, I want Toba to come in here because this is a very crucial time for us, a very crucial moment, because on the show now we've been able to identify the fact that you cannot dissociate political tricks and intrigues from what we are actually facing in the nation in terms of insecurity, at the beginning of this large-scale insecurity that we are experiencing. Personally, when I can remember those days when I travel, I love traveling at night. I love traveling. We had those bus cars with TV, we watch home videos. It's just like a plane. Early in the morning, myself and my friends, probably for coming to Abuja or Port Harcourt, we'll go to Jibo, we'll buy a ticket. We have friends in that area. Sometimes we won't shop, hang around. Once it's 5 p.m., we take our ticket, we go into the bus. I made lots of friends traveling that way. It was the best. You sleep, you relax. I wouldn't travel at night for 1 billion naira right now as a Nigerian. I wouldn't even travel during the day by road. It's difficult for me to even imagine it. You come with anything, I'm like, please, not me, cut me out. If there's no air ticket, I am not traveling. Now, we've also identified the divide and rule tactics. We've identified that politicians come with all manner of intrigues to divide the people so they can hold on to power. What about us as Nigerians? If we know the truth, like you, Toba, you here, Idris is here, we're talking about issues like this, and we've finally, we've identified one culprit, and we understand when it comes to voting, polling period or
and use every opportunity to expose this deceit. Which is why no matter what we are talking to, I bring us back to this. There is just a few people outsmarting the large number of people, simple and short, which is what he has said. A few people will come to us. When I was young, you will ride this gere, this small stick, and roll from one end of the street. No parent looks for their child till 7, 8. We'll cross the road, we'll travel. My mentor, Mekarfi, schooled in Enugu. Azikwe was born in Zungeru. Zungeru, Niger State. Was born there, not born there. We had a country where there was no distrust. What we are saying is we need to expose these politicians. Once we begin to expose them, if you notice the last election, they didn't used to stop on the road again to eat maize or stay with small children, frying akara, going to schools. Those were the deceptions of elections years ago. Once election period reached, you see politicians eating corn on the road, going to schools, going to orphanage. We must expose these deceptions and let people know that there are people now who, I'm sorry to say, who all they are telling you Tinubu is bad is just so that they can get in. I am not supporting Tinubu. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that for what he's doing wrong, we lash him. For what he's doing well, we praise him. For the continuity of government, if it is time for, we have not evolved yet to completely do away with our tribalism. We are not America. It may take us another 20 years of solid development and trust restored for us to be able to just not care where a president comes from, right? But we can head there just by a level of trust. If you want land, you looking for land to grab in Benue, there is land in Sambisa. You don't need to leave your land to grab land. There is bush. So this distrust have to be worked on. Farmers need to know where they should be. Headers need to be arranged to where they should be. Businessmen need to, Igbo people are doing business in Kano, in every state. We need to understand that when there's a crisis, they can protect each other. We've seen places in which there's a crisis and the Christians are protecting the Muslims while the Muslims are praying. We've seen where the Muslims are protecting the Christians while they're praying. In this country, we can get back there. It's just for us to become smarter than the politicians, make the masses aware. When they are speaking, know when they are speaking to divide you and set you apart from each other just to get votes. And their children will not be present. They will disappear. So we are continuing this work. The media houses should allow us, as you are doing, speak freely. This country belongs to Nigerians. We can make our choices based on what we feel is best. We should be able to decipher when we are being deceived. In the Bible, one of the greatest things you hear is, in the last days there will be deception. Do not be deceived. Do not be deceived.
Yes.
Deception is the highest thing, because you don't see 80% of who you think is a saint is a devil trying to get into power to deceive you. Very simple.
Interesting. Please keep the calls coming in. We're discussing State of the Nation this morning. We've talked about Tinubu St. Lucia Strip. We're talking about insecurity in the land. So just make sure you call in. As long as it is Nigeria, call in and let us hear what you have to say about the nation. There's a new month. We're halfway into the year. The year is finally grinding. If you ask me, we are there already. I've started thinking of what to wear in December. I tell you, for me, the year is already gone. Okay, let us take a look at the educational sector. A lot is happening in that sector, and I'm going to take my pardon from JAM. Let's not even go far. Let us not even go too deep into talking about it. JAM in recent time has come up with a lot of discoveries. This morning alone, we just discovered now that JAM, actually, they've investigated and they found out that they use AI to write exams. We're not even talking about the fact that people use fake results to get into school, but the question we're asking is, how come they are not found out before they are given admission, as it were? Again, let's take a look at structures, the educational, in terms of school, of course, contribution, and you can actually see the pictorial on your screen. We're talking about infrastructural development in the educational sector. There's a lot to talk about. I'll leave it to you, Abdul, where you want to start from.
Yes.
Education
really,
in Nigeria.
Our Nigeria's education system is in a very deplorable state, especially the infrastructure itself. Even the educational curriculum, you know, it has its own problem.
Definitely.
So, but at least the infrastructure is #1, because as I'm speaking to you, based on even what we are seeing on the screen, if you go to public schools...
These are schools.
Yeah, if you go to public, this one is even a bit better. There are schools that are even more worse than this. Entirely the roofing is not there. They have to sit often. They have to either sit under the tree to teach, as we are seeing. So there are so many public schools that are happening. This thing is clean public school, especially primary and secondary school, and that's why you see now majority of people are moving their children to private schools. So this is entirely very, very bad, because it's not everybody that can afford to take his children to a private school. It's very costly, and even the primary, in the same the way they teach in these public schools now, because there were no qualified teachers. Good and qualified teachers will be hired at the private school. So leaving only the either quack ones or whatever, or just the remaining ones to the public schools. This is not good really. When we give our children better education, that was when we can be able to, indirectly we are fighting insecurity in the future, of course. By the time you allow them to, without no good infrastructure in education, they are not having any good teachers, the next thing they become Endeavor, the one we are seeing in Kano now, they become Nkalare, or they become IPOP boys in East and whatever, or what do you call them in Lagos, they call them area boys and so on. So it's a good time now that we look into public school. For example, now we are having issues here in FCT, whereby primary schools are not functioning at this very point of time because of minimum wage issues. Definitely, I think our leaders need to think. Everybody started from a primary school. Majority of these people that are in governance now Some of them, right from primary school, they started public school from primary up to university, some of them free.
Free education, they enjoyed free education.
But today, what we're having, the story is different.
Yes.
Look, most of the schools are dilapidated. The classes are not enough. No teachers to teach. These are the areas that I'm even calling on the FCT, including him, the Minister of FCT, to wade into this matter, because I knew, yes, primary education, primary health care are under area councils. But being a governor, you have a role to play also, you understand? If they fail to do their duty, if it means punishing the heads, if it means doing whatever to ensure that, yes, these teachers get what is needed, these schools get what is needed, the roofings, the ceilings, the chairs that are not there, put it in place.
Okay.
I'm sure the way I'm seeing, maybe, I don't know what was his plan, the way he's building infrastructure, maybe he has a time that he wants to come back to educational side.
No, because of time, we don't have much time. I would want Toba's take on the educational sector. We've talked about infrastructural decay. Outdated school curriculum is one of the challenges we have. Nepotism in admission or quota system is another one. High tuition fees is there, and of course courtesan. We don't have much time, so I will want your take on the state of education in Nigeria in your perspective, bearing in mind of this.
The education is doing very poorly in Nigeria because of what you said. We don't have infrastructure. We have not given it priority.
Outdated curriculum?
Yeah, outdated curriculum. I don't think I want to start from outdated curriculum. We are not too backward on curriculum.
Okay.
Because you can't fix everything at once.
Okay.
You see? So, Wike is doing well in FCT on developments and other things. My point is, he has made a very good point. The schools and primary healthcare are under the chairman in their local governments, and they are getting their allocations. We need to call them out. We also have one senator, Senator Kingibe Ireti. We need to call her out also. You cannot tell us you are fighting with Wike 1 year ago, and then that's the reason why you cannot function in the Senate. Wike is not present in the Senate. You are present in the Senate. Take this matter to the Senate. The Senate will call whoever has not made it happen. They are being paid 50,000. They want to be paid minimum wage of 70,000. That has not happened, and they want their arrears paid, which is not a bad thing. You are their senator. Only one senator we have here. Bring it up on the Senate. Don't say because you are waiting for Wike. You see, this is why I say politicking is also still our problem. These things need to be fixed. Yes, we've gotten. Okay, have a call.
Let's just take this last call before you continue.
Yeah,
Good morning, Mazi. Please.
My own is an appeal to the opposition party, whether it's board of trustees or working committee, whatever they may call the discussion. They should speak about Africa from our calling. They should do the NIGCO, whatever the NIGCO. There are 3 cardinal points that affect Nigerian politicians.
Okay.
1, ego. 2, power. 3, what is the money? That you invested in the particular party is not a criteria for you to be depicting. You want everything to be according to your to be according to your own need. You change the goalpost. It will not work well. Look, let Nigerian borrow a leak. When President Trump they shot the rigged election, Biden came on board. What happened? He said those Republicans, after Biden's election, Trump continued fighting to them. He's the only president in the whole world are afraid of.
Okay, thank you so much. That's Mazi for you. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. When Mazi calls, he comes here to speak his mind. So let us take, as we round up, what about nepotism and quota system in the educational sector? Can you please throw some light on that as one of the challenges to education in Nigeria?
In 1 minute, since we don't have time.
Yes.
I will not focus on nepotism as a problem, which is why we put schools in every place. If you're in Kano and you want to give 80% of admission to Kano people, good luck. Good luck to you. As far as the person from Delta State also has schools in Delta State.
Okay.
You see, people always see things from a rivalry point of view. I see it from an achievement point of view. If that gives us more people in Kano to go to more schools, good. That takes them off the street. Because the quota system mark for Zamfara cannot be the same with another state. Because the interest in education in Zamfara is very low. So we have to buffer them. They may not do well at the beginning in school, but after a while they do well. The school I went to, a private school, some of us did very well from JS1 to JS3. Some people were scoring 30-something out of 50-something, 40-something. But by the time they got to SS class, they had peaked in the system. Some of them became top 5, top 6, sub 7. So that somebody didn't do very well coming into a school doesn't mean he will not do well. So I think it is not an issue in my opinion.
Okay, time is never a friend on the show, and that is all time will provide us to discuss today on the press. I want to appreciate those who called in. Make sure you're part of the show tomorrow. The show will come up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's just Monday to Friday every week. So please let those calls come in more tomorrow on the show. And of course, I want to thank my guest, Toba Owojaiye, for being on the show this morning. He has become a friend to the house. And of course, ABDULAZEEZ Idris, I appreciate you for finding time, despite the weather, to be on the show this morning. All right, that is the show. My name is ANIRE BINITIE. Keep your head up, 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 up. Don't give up. Trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. Look inward. And do not get affected by what is happening around you. Because if you do, you may just miss your target. Until next time on the show, be safe and bye for now.